Hello, my hair's sticking up like crazy. Like a crazy man. Hi, everybody. How's it going? The inside chat can't see me. The outside chat can see me. Fantastic. We have a special guest today. Who is it?
Who is it? I don't know.
It's
Who could it
Ilya!
be?
Hey!
Who could it be? That animal that I did see. Can you help me guess this mystery?
Thank you so much for asking me to come on.
I'm so excited to have you here. As you may be able to notice outside, that we are missing Sweet Heathen. She wasn't feeling too good today. So we're missing her for today. But our lovely Ilya Moon was kind enough to jump in for us. And we're just happy to have her here. We've been wanting to get her on. It's just been a matter of finding the time.
For sure.
Ooh, yeah.
So how's everybody doing? Good, bad, the ugly?
Yeah.
I'm doing great. I'm so excited to be here with you ladies tonight.
Yay.
How you doing?
Victory dance.
Golden.
Well, this Golden's golden. Doing good. Yep. I'm very happy. And welcome everyone. Let's have another round. Let's do this.
And how are you doing down there once?
Oh, I'm all right. I'm surviving the quarantine, but hopefully I'll have something to do here in a little bit. So, yay me.
That sounds like trouble.
What that might be.
It actually isn't. I'm to get a little bit personal and a little in look into my life. I'm actually looking to lease a horse locally, so that should be fun.
Oh wow, that's
a
cool.
Horse? Yeah. Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah. It's literally like my favorite pastime is riding horses and being around them and grooming them and just it's just super fun.
Dang, that's exciting.
No, that's awesome. So we have a couple of funny things for today. If you may have not have noticed in the past couple of streams, we've sort of been kind of destroying people and showing them in vivid detail how they have screwed up and how they have made errors. So now we kind of wanted to talk about a little bit how to rectify those errors. Like, how do you apologize? How do you move forward off of messing up so royally and screwing up so badly? Because I'm sure we have a few thoughts on on how an apology should or should not go, and kind of what isn't an apology.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely what's not an apology. Yep. We've got some very good
not even a little bit.
So what do you guys think is like standard or to be expected for an apology? I assume the word sorry would probably be in there somewhere.
Yeah,
I think sorry and full ownership of what they're apologizing for, not just saying, we all say things here and there from time to time. More like I messed up. I said something I shouldn't have said.
So taking responsibility?
Yep. And
I
sorry. Yeah, go ahead, Nikki.
No. I generally, if it's a larger type of apology or if it's an apology that I'm typing out, I don't generally say I'm sorry. I feel as though I'm sorry has such a, I don't know, to me it's too weak if you actually mess up. To me, I like to say, I apologize, and then I like to explain why I'm apologizing and then what I could do better. But like if it's something like, if I accidentally hurt my friend, I'll be like, oh, I'm so sorry. Type of thing.
Oh, like
but
you bump into somebody and knock their coffee over or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, something fixable, something that's temporary. I like to say I'm sorry because it's very quick. But if it's for something a lot more severe, I generally, I'll say I apologize because I feel like that. I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's a larger word, but I just feel like it has more sincerity to it.
Maybe because it's not used as often.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because
I also do that.
It's so throwaway.
Yeah. Yeah, you say.
Yeah, go
ahead. And like for me, an apology is like Ilya said, and take ownership of what you have done, and don't go about saying if I have made you feel like that, if you feel like it, or if you think. No, that's not how an apology works. You take ownership, full on ownership. You don't try and mess up with other people's reaction to what you have done, or their
Right.
feelings towards what you have done and how you have messed up. You don't go about that. You say, I apologize. I shouldn't have done it. This is where I went wrong. I promise I will make it up to you. Tell me how I can make it up to you. That's the best way to go about it for me. Yeah.
Yeah, getting the
Make
other
it up in
person's
some way.
input into how to start rectifying whatever went south is probably actually a very good idea. Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Moon,
Yep.
what do you think?
I think the best way to approach any apology first is to understand where that person's at. So, as an example, there are certain situations where a person might not be ready to hear that apology, but you should still acknowledge what you've done. And, we can only control our own controllables. We can't control everybody else's reactions or their behavior. But if I make a mistake, I will be the first to fall on my own sword. And I would approach it from a genuine, I recognize that that's how this made you feel. I'm terribly sorry that it made you feel that way. I have ownership in how I worded or what I said, or, whatever the case may be. And I take accountability for that. What are your recommendations for how I approach this in the future? Should it come up again? Or what can I do to meet you where you're at better if it's an amicable relationship? Now, given there are going to be contentious relationships that you're in where there's going to be disagreement that maybe you don't really have the energy to put that much effort into, right? So, in those situations, I think a standard, I messed up, I did this, I apologize, should be sufficient in those situations.
No, that definitely makes sense. It seems to be that there's sort of maybe three things that we're getting at. I think it's approach, understanding the other person, and ownership. That seems to be the three. And then maybe a fourth one would be rectifying the behavior moving forward. Like, if you're sorry for something, maybe don't do it again. Like,
Yeah.
it's one thing to have a habit, or one thing that, like, it takes time to get better at. It takes time to, like, if I constantly leave a towel on the floor in the bathroom, I'll be sorry that I left the towel in there because it bothers you, but it might take me a couple of times before I remember to not put the towel on the floor.
Exactly.
Oh,
I think,
yeah,
I think,
exactly. And when you're accepting apologies and it's something that has to do with changing a behavior, and that person has to say, I'm sorry, like, keep bringing it up, but, don't be an asshole until it's like years later and they're doing it on purpose. If you're trying to, like be like, oh, well, this is annoying, or this could be done better, there's no reason why it couldn't be done better, then that's just common courtesy.
Be able
But
to explain your position.
exactly, yeah. You just have to, like, be patient when it's in action, especially I found with people who were perhaps not brought up, like, cleanly, or they have a habit from their house, like if you're in almost like a younger relationships or something. If there's something that bothers you and they're willing to change, just keep reminding them, but don't be an asshole. Sometimes there might be a little bit blah blah blah, like an explosion of emotion if it gets annoying, but eventually that habit will change if you continue to be, not a jerk about it.
So actually that brings
and
up
I
another
think,
point. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, and I think that as adults, communication is key,
Mhm.
especially if you're in a living together situation,
Oh,
cohabitation,
absolutely.
marriage, or whatever the case may be. Communication is always going to be key. And I would also say that don't hold your tongue on walk on eggshells around your partner or significant other or even friends. There is a way
Yeah.
to be honest and stand in your convictions. That's probably the better word. And do it without compromise, but not being a dick about it too. So,
Mhm.
approach there again. But I think that it's also important to always be honest in where you're at, and communication is key.
Trying not to be passive aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like
Just-
communication.
Yeah, just talk
Like
to each
literally, yeah, don't let it build up to the point where it's like you are so angry that you're starting an argument. This
Yeah.
type of thing, I really had to learn this going into
Mhm.
like a long-term relationship and beginning to live with somebody. In my house, we couldn't disagree with the parental figures. That we were in a very verbally abusive, physically abusive type situation. So if we argued, we would get hit in the face or something like that.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
I had to learn going into an actual healthy relationship and trying to sustain a healthy relationship that letting it build up literally makes it 20 times worse. Like you have to
Right.
have these discussions or else you will not have a good relationship with your significant other.
Well, especially if it's something like the towel on the floor. If there's no
Yeah.
way
Right.
for the other person to know, if you don't communicate with them and then you blow up and now you're blowing up at them
Yep.
out of nowhere and they're like, "Why do you care so much about a towel on the floor? I don't understand." And meanwhile it is literally just been annoying you for a month. And had you just been like, "Hey, can you make sure not to leave towels on the floor? It makes my socks wet," or whatever reason it is. You don't really need to have a reason for something like that. That's just regular stuff.
Yeah.
Then it's not
Right.
it's an easy conversation. It's not boom, oh yeah, no, for sure, I'll try to remember that in the future. And then friendly reminders.
There's, yeah, and I guess it also depends on what kind of thing you're apologizing for, what kind of mistake you're apologizing for. Depends on the degrees. Like simple towel on the floor. If you're not communicating what your expectations are, then blowing up, then
Then you need to apologize for blowing up.
yeah. But if someone's been continuously being, for example, making snide remarks at you, and you have told them again and again, don't do that, it hurts my feelings, and they keep on doing it, and they're saying, it's all in fun and games, then no, then they owe you an apology because you've already communicated that it's not a healthy thing to do, and you're not happy with it. For example, like I brought it up on Twitter just I think so yesterday about people who mock you or make fun of you in jest, and you go along with it because you're okay with that kind of a humor. But after a while it starts bugging you, and you're like, if that same thing deprecating line is being repeated about you again and again and made being fun of, it can put a toll on you. Now if you go back to your friend and say, listen, it was all fun and games till yesterday, but now I don't want you to say it, please stop. And then maybe they try and come back to you and say, well, it was in fun, and they'll say, yeah, I understand, but please stop. And then they stop for a while, but then they start doing it again. You might warn them twice, but third time I think so then you're owed an apology, because you're like, listen, hey mate, I already told you twice, stop it, it's not healthy for me, and and I've told you why, and I'm not blaming you for joking about it before, but now you're ignoring what I've told you, so now that person owes you an apology. So
Yeah.
it depends on what mistake are you apologizing for,
Sure.
or what. Yeah.
Right.
And to
And I
apologize for
think
that, the way you
that's
might want to approach it is that, hey, listen, I was saying these things and it kind of a habit. I'm really sorry. I'm gonna stop doing that. I didn't mean to bother you. I thought it was all fun and games, and I will try to not do that in the future. So it's like you've explained that your
Right.
position, you've said you're sorry, you've said how you're rectifying it in the future, and you've taken ownership for it.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 easy.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I think that brings up a good point as a healthy reminder that consent, whether it be joking, whether it be beyond joking, can always be revoked at any time. So I think it's important and a healthy reminder that you may consent to something at some point or time in any relationship that may change, and it's okay. So, I do think that, in the situation like you just presented, or the example, Manya, that you just presented, that if you're presented in a situation where joking becomes uncomfortable for you, even though in the past it wasn't, to simply say to someone, don't joke like that with me anymore. It's not a personal attack on them. And if they do continue to do it, they should recognize that that's a problem when you've requested it to stop. So,
Yeah, You're allowed to at any point in time, and you don't really have to give any reason besides I don't like it. There doesn't have to be any grand reason as to why you don't like that thing anymore, and that applies to anything. That applies to, let's say you like getting hugged from behind, and you decide you don't like that anymore, and your significant other does it all the time. If you tell them, "Hey, I don't like that anymore," they should stop doing it.
Right. Definitely.
You don't need to have a
And
reason
hey,
outside
novel.
of, I just don't want you to.
Right.
Yeah.
And novel concept. A lot of apologies wouldn't even be necessary if adults would behave like adults and think before they speak and
Tell me
think about the impact of what their words are, for crying out loud.
You mean being
Yeah.
considerate of other people and listening when people talk to you might be beneficial as a mature adult?
Yeah. You know.
Nah, it's asking for too much.
Before I say something, I say it in my head and say to myself, how would I feel if this was said to me?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's good advice. What do you guys think in receiving an apology? Is there like a standard to be expected when you're receiving an apology?
Yeah, there is. I guess according to me, like if someone's genuinely apologizing for you to you, you might be angry at that time, and you might feel like not accepting that apology. But there's a way on how to go about it. Maybe, tell that person, all right, I'm too angry right now to listen to your apology. Give me some time. I'll mull on it, and I'll come back to you. Right. But don't go like, because I've had a row before with a friend where it became really heated up, and I was apologizing to that friend very sincerely. I was like, I'm really sorry. I'm sorry I did that. I'm sorry I made my words were so harsh on you. And she said she didn't, I guess it was in the heat of the moment, and they didn't stop. And they said, I don't care about your apology because I know you're just lying. You're not sorry. And that hit really, home, that you're like, here, I'm trying to apologize sincerely, and she just took my apology and they threw it out of the window. Yeah, dismissed it. And then I realized maybe she's too angry to listen to my apology at that time. So I said, okay, maybe I'll come back later with another apology. And that's how you deal with it. Maybe like, if you're too angry to listen to the other, if you hear the word I'm sorry and you're too angry, maybe walk away from that situation and come back and think
that you're too angry to have that conversation. And that's sort of what they were saying earlier with find out where the other person's at when you're going to apologize. So if you find out that they're not in a place to be listening to whatever it is that you're sorry for, then take a step back, come back to them later when they actually are when they are ready.
Listen.
Yeah.
And
on the other hand,
so it can be sometimes that someone might be angry at you for days about something,
Mm-hmm.
And I learned this from one. Again, I always like, my friends have been in real life everywhere. Whatever few friends I have, I always learn from them. How they go about their business. So here's another example from a friend. She broke up with someone. They were together since they were high school sweethearts kind of thing. And she broke up because her partner, they brought it up. They were like, oh, maybe we should think about other possibilities too, and blah blah blah. And she said, okay. So she started looking around. She found someone, and she was like, okay, I need to break off before I can enter into another relationship. She did. The other person, the guy, did not take it amicably. He was not happy. Yeah, but he wasn't an asshole about it. He was like, okay, I accept your decision. And he was a bit worked out about it, but he accepted it because he brought it up. And she told me, like, she was like, I don't want to leave on bad terms with him. So she said, I will talk with him again when he has calmed down. And she did, and they patched it up. So now they are on good terms. So that's how you can. And I really like that example, that you don't, every time you have an argument, you don't have to burn the bridges, unless it's how you do it. If it's done right, you know, you can have a very good relationship with that person in the future.
Unless you don't want to. If you don't want to have a relationship with that person in the future, even if they apologize, you don't have to. That's up to you. You can either accept their apology or not accept their apology if you so desire. You can accept their apology and just be like, okay, thanks, I appreciate the apology, so long.
Yeah.
Or not, it's up to you. And the thing is that is when you're giving an apology, that is something that you are going to have to accept. You don't get a choice in that. If somebody doesn't want to have a relationship with you, you can't try and force them to because, oh, well, but they said they were sorry. Oh, what do you mean? I mean, okay, cool. Yeah, they're sorry. I appreciate that they're sorry. Nikki, are you trying to talk?
Sorry, what? Oops.
I'm seeing the green bar around below me over here, and I'm not sure if she's trying to say something or if she's muted or...
I don't think she's muted. I think so. Maybe she's trying to say something. Nikki, we can't hear you, girl. Maybe type in the chat. Nikki, are you talking? Can't hear you. Okay,
we gotta figure it out. I think accepting an apology is important too. That if somebody is trying to apologize for you, even if you are ready to hear that apology, there is something to be said for hearing them out if you so desire to hear them out, and not bothering to hear them out if you don't want to. You don't have to even listen to their apology if you don't want to. However, if somebody is apologizing and you do want to continue that relationship, then I think it's important for people to understand to not, when somebody is apologizing, berating the other person. They're trying to apologize to you. If you keep interrupting with, oh, and you did this, and oh, and you did this, oh, and you did this, it's not going to be beneficial. Sometimes it's better to listen, hear them out, understand where they were coming from or what they're trying to explain, if you can, and then accept the apology and then talk it out. Be like, you know what, I appreciate it, I'm glad you're sorry, let's talk it out so we don't have to deal with this moving forward, so we can not have to worry about this in the future, so we both understand each other. Are you back?
Yep.
Did we get you?
Nikki.
Yes,
Hello.
sorry.
Oh, there we go.
Awesome.
My thing, I had to come out of the call and come back in because it was all frozen. It was weird.
I think I got a big zit on my chin. I just noticed it, and now I'm not going to be able to not poke at it the entire rest of the stream.
Oh, tell me about it.
My favorite is these big coarse hairs on my chin that I'm getting now.
No.
Isn't getting older great? It's just the best.
Whenever I stop taking my medicine, my face just explodes with these big, pimples, and they are so hurtful. But then I want to bust them so bad. God dang it, I want to bust it open. Yeah.
So something that we deal with in our community a little bit is you're incorrect about something. You straight up got something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
How do you go about correcting that? You got some information wrong.
So I have
Well, I'll give the floor to Ilya for that first, and then I will chip in.
Oh, you're really quiet. Did you switch from your microphone around?
Ilya, isn't it?
Moon, we're having so many technical problems today. No.
I'm so
This
sorry.
broadcast is being interrupted due to technical issues. Please hang in there with us.
We can hear you. You're just really sound really far away. Is your microphone facing the wrong direction?
Oops. Oops. Okay, wait, she will reset her settings. Oh,
Yeah.
she's back. Sup, Ilya?
Okay, is that better?
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Gotcha.
Woo! What is going on with Discord tonight? Jeez.
All kinds of issues.
So what I was going to say was, a couple weeks ago on the Uncalled For, we were examining one of our wonderful MGTOW / incel assholes, and they were talking about the pay gap for women. And AT2 Productions actually put in the chat that what we were stating was incorrect. Now, the guy in the video was a jerk and he acknowledged that, but he was saying that the pay gap has started to close, and he was saying, you need to go look at this source video and so on and so forth. So I immediately, first of all, thanked him for calling it out, because I want to know if there are updates and things that I missed in my research. Second of all, I did go and look at it all, and then I reached out to him and said, hey, you were right. Thank you for correcting me. And on our next show, when we're discussing this, I'm going to make sure to put up a correction about that specific part of the video.
Right.
And now, given I didn't do it this past Sunday because it was a different type of show, it was an anniversary special for one of the panelists.
Not
but
an
this
appropriate
coming
time
up,
to do it, yeah.
No, but this coming up Sunday, I've got a correction written out that I'm going to do off the bat based on AT2, calling it out and saying, hey, I think you need to go look at this because I don't think what you're saying is quite right. And so in that situation, I wasn't offended at all, not even a little bit. I knew he was coming from a place of, good intention, where he wants us to have good facts, the most updated facts. So I actually appreciated it. And
Yeah,
then I reached out to him and I sent him a private message and was like, hey, thank you for calling that out. I went and looked at what you told me to. You were correct. I'm going to put up a correction about that on the next Uncalled For, where we're talking about this again. So that's how I look at it. If someone calls me out and says, hey, I think you need to make this correction and this is why, I will correct it if I'm wrong,
Yeah. So you what you did was you went ahead and you explained what your original point was, and then you explained what was brought up to you, what new information was brought up to you, and you compared the two, and you admitted that yes, you did not know about the new piece of information, and based on the new piece of information, this is your new argument or your new position, and you said, I'm sorry, I did not know about that. And you said you were thankful to the person who brought it up to you.
Yeah.
So that's the basic thing to go about.
Now,
That's the
did
most...
it matter the way AT2 came to you, right? With cookies. Context, clarity, cookies. The 5 C's from Cafe Corner.
Yes.
Yeah.
He came to me with the 5 C's, absolutely. Now, had he just been a ruthless piece of crap and said, you're wrong, you're just wrong, and not giving me any additional source data or come to me in a different, you know what I mean? Had he not come to me the way he did, I might not have listened. But the way he approached it was with 5 C's, and it was really easy for me to understand where he was coming from and to want to then go do the research on what he was sending me so I could verify, validate, and then, make the correction in due time. So, yeah.
Cool. So that's the most basic thing to go about. And that's the thing. If someone's presenting you with a correction, give them the charity of listening to them and go on and, have a look at it. If you're being corrected and you're being cited a source, look into the source. And if you think that you can modify your position based on the new information, you go ahead and do it. But if the person approaching you just goes on a rampage, oh, you're an idiot, you don't know, this is wrong, this is an old source, but refuses to provide any new sources to you, and then you also come back, in a way and say, well, you're an idiot for calling me an idiot, so go away. So that kind of messes it further. So charity and, go ahead and listen to the other side. Give them an open ear before you make a judgment.
Right.
And
Provided they're actually able to provide any kind of information or any kind of point, rather than just, oh, you're an asshole, fuck you.
yeah.
Like, if you ask for information and they essentially will, it's like pulling teeth, is it really worth whatever information they're going to give you? And do they even have any information at that point? If you're going to say that somebody's wrong or incorrect, and you can't provide reasons as to why they're wrong, how are you ever going to get your point across, or how are they ever supposed to correct themselves?
Yeah.
Right.
It is possible that for example, I was wrong at something. It is possible that I was citing an old source and I was citing an incorrect source, which the credibility of that source was not right. But that doesn't it doesn't mean I was doing it intentionally. Right. So again, the cookies, the 5 C's. If you don't have a link at that, or you don't have the source on your hand at that point, just be nice about it and say, listen, I don't have it on my hand right now. How about I go out and look for it, and if I find it, I'll come back and give it to you, and then you can change your position. Or if I don't find it, I'll let you know that I couldn't find it, and I'm sorry that I said that you were wrong. Simple as that. Just don't. It's not a battle that has to be won there and then. Like, it has to be, a smackdown.
Sometimes it's a discussion, right? Sometimes it's more than just, oh, you're wrong. Yeah. Sometimes it's a conversation to be like, oh, okay, well, why not? I'm gonna say a couple hellos in the chat. We've got Just Brit, and we've got Little Red in here. So hi guys, special hello.
Hello.
Don't forget to like and share and shit, whatever.
Hi.
Essentially, I think what we're getting at is that it's not a big deal to be wrong, and it's also not really that big of a deal to apologize in most cases. In some cases, you fuck up royally. In some cases, you fuck up beyond all recognition. It's foobarred. You're foobarred. So it's like, well, how do you come back from something like that? And even one step further, how do you apologize to somebody who's cut off communication with you?
Yeah.
I think it depends on the situation. So, as an example, I think, as Manya had stated earlier, there are levels or degrees. So for me, there are things that I would consider to be unforgivable offenses, and other people may have those as well. Unforgivable things to me would be to talk about anything that has to do with my child or what happened, or anything that has to do with my significant other. I have no divided loyalty, therefore those are unforgivables to me. However, if in the event I did something that crossed a line and I needed to approach it from a place of, apologetics because I really screwed up, I would just fall on my sword and figure out how to portray that, whether it be, if it were in an online environment, maybe a public service statement and publicly acknowledging what I did, where I messed up, and hope that they somehow see it and maybe earn the respect of them for at least admitting it and falling on my own sword and owning it, if there was no other way around it. If it were in a real life circumstance, I think I would try to figure out how to approach it, which that happened with me not long ago. I did make a mistake with one of my best friends in real life, and she blocked me, and my way around it was I sent her a gift through Amazon because I knew her address. And it was just a little keychain that said, I miss you, my life is incomplete without you.
Aww.
And then a little note with it that just said, I'm really sorry, I miss you. So I found a way to approach it, but at the same time, I wouldn't have sent her 12 gifts. I did the one, kind of initial olive branch, and it was then in her court to decide whether she wanted to reach back out to me. So I think there's always a way around it in circumstances in real life and online. If you're blocked or whatever the case may be, you just have to figure out how to navigate those a little better than just saying, well, I'm blocked, I can't do anything.
So how do you apologize to somebody that you hate?
Oh, I would
Like
still do it
they're
the same
right,
way.
and you hate that they're right.
And you want to apologize, you still want to make it right. Like,
I would still apologize. I mean, I live under the premise that you do the right thing because it's the right thing to do, regardless of circumstances. So even if it were someone I hated, I would still
There's a
say,
standard there.
hey, I messed up. I'm sorry. I live by a certain standard in my life, which is honesty, integrity, and doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do, regardless of who the other person involved may be.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
I think that's a great standard, and I think that provided that if the other person wants to, even if you need to apologize to somebody, maybe you don't want a relationship, maybe you don't want to talk to them, you say it in a form where you know they're gonna see it. You go, listen, I screwed up. I'm sorry. That's my fault. My bad. It, like, apologizing a lot of the time or correcting yourself isn't necessarily. I'm wrong all the time. All the time, and I don't. And a lot of times, people don't actually notice. Why? Because I say something, somebody goes, actually, it's this, and I go, oh, okay, cool. And I correct myself moving forward, because a lot of the time you don't necessarily need to apologize for being incorrect. You just correct the error. So I was having a conversation with Dapper Dino, and I was like, the Council on Nicaea came up, and he's like, well, actually, that's not correct. The next Council on Nicaea, and I was like, oh, well, shit. I was wrong.
Okay.
Moving on.
all right, okay, you got a point. All right, let's move on.
Yeah, and it's not a big deal. It's not like we need to fight over
Yeah,
it.
but
We'll fight to the death about
that's
being
all.
wrong.
Yeah, but that's all that is
Keeping your
like really.
mind.
Yeah, go ahead, Nikki. Sorry.
It's also keeping your mind in a position to accept when you're wrong. Like, honestly, I get kind of tunnel vision sometimes, and it'll be really hard for me to admit I'm wrong. But at the end of the day, if it's something like, you know, silly or some form of fact, if I refuse to correct that fact, then I'm in the wrong in the long run. So, did I say that?
Yeah.
It's a
Short-term
domino
response.
effect.
Literally, like, yeah, you're. If you refuse to say when you're wrong, about certain things, you're just setting yourself up for failure in the future, because it'll then start to get harder and harder and harder for you to admit you're wrong with other things.
Right.
Yeah, it's a domino effect, isn't it? You make one mistake, then you have to make another to hide that mistake, and blah 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 blah. It just goes on and on. But so the thing is that here we are just talking about minor stuff, right? Which can be corrected, and you know, people can hold, you know, can block people from their lives for minor things. But there are things like where people accuse you without doing this research, and they refuse to listen to you, and they keep on going and going and going, and you have to sort of, you know, they spread it around the community, and you have to explain yourself to every person again and again in that, you know, in that community, because people then start coming and questioning you. Then when that person apologizes, it's not really an apology. It's just like, meh, it's okay. It was all fun and games. Everybody makes mistakes. Let's move on. So I have an issue with those people who do that. It's not like they do it once. They do it again and again. They do the same. They do this. It's not a mistake, right? Then it becomes, they do the same intentional thing, that intentional action, where they're now causing harm, and they're affecting someone's what do you say, accountability, not accountability, but someone's reputation, and someone's and they do that without proof. And when you ask them to account for their actions, or you expect an, you know, account from them for their actions, accountability, they just deflect in the worst way possible. For me, you can explain to such people once that, listen, you're not doing it correctly, and if they do it again and again after that, then I just lose I lose charity for them. I
Yeah.
don't have any charity
Yeah.
for them, and I don't trust them anymore because, yeah, if it becomes a pattern, either they are not willing to learn or they are, I don't know, they're dense motherfuckers who don't absorb criticism, then I don't have any value for you in my life. I don't I don't know.
Yeah, the Athens makes a good point. Like flat earthers will be wrong, will be wrong, will be wrong, will be wrong, and then will lie. So like, oh, Astronomy
Yep.
Live made up his footage. Okay, well show me, like, is lying about his footage. Okay, well show me how. Oh, well he is. I could easily show it. There's like 7 different ways. Okay, well in what ways? Oh, they're there. I need the actual footage to actually be able to demonstrate it. Okay, here's the footage. Where is it wrong? Well, you're lying. Well, okay, now we've gone full circle, and you have Kent Hovind is another good example. Kent Hovind's just he's what is a kind? Well, a kind is you're describing a clade. What is a kind? And he just refuses to correct his bullshit.
This
Yeah.
particular topic
And then he keeps
reminds me a
saying the
lot
bullshit,
of
and he doesn't correct himself ever.
Right.
this
at
particular
this
topic
point,
reminds me a lot.
Sorry?
I don't remember what I was saying.
Sorry, go ahead.
Nikki had a brain fart.
No, I
ahead,
remember.
Moon.
I remember.
Oh, Nikki, you go
think
then,
at this
Moon.
point, you would think at this point he would get at least a different script. At least.
It's like you'd be like some like rectifications, like a
Who?
little bit of change. Kent
Right.
Hovind.
Who?
Kent Hovind.
Oh, Kent
people
Hovind,
could
yeah.
literally- People could literally type down his what's the word? His script that he goes off
Yeah.
of, and word by word take apart every single one of his scripts, or debate him, and then as he's saying something, literally quote him on top of him saying that.
Oh, yeah, people
have
It
done
would
it.
be so funny to me.
People have done it.
Like that's how
Moon,
closely he follows to that one line of questioning. It's crazy.
Moon, what were you gonna
So, can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I was going to say this particular topic in this conversation reminds me of what I refer to as the tabloids for our community.
say?
Um,
Oh,
Yeah. So,
They just-
we all
Oh.
we all know about some certain I wouldn't call them creators, maybe YouTube
Cretins?
tabloid people.
Cretins.
Yeah, there you go. Who literally make their life's mission to do nothing but stir up drama consistently
Mhm.
daily.
Oh yeah.
And they are consistently putting out lies. Similar to earlier this year when I was a catfish and
yeah.
using so many people for money. Like,
And you're me.
I'm wondering,
Uh,
and
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
wondering why, I'm doing it wrong because I've received $0 from
Where's
this
all my
community.
money at? Where's
So-
my money, ho?
Come on, bitches, where's my money? I'll
Pay
know.
up.
bitch better have my money.
I actually
Oh,
have
you
something, a
better.
super special video for us for a little bit later because I wanna save it
Yeah.
just for a little bit later because it's absolutely glorious and it is the birth of a McCrazy in its natural habitat.
Oh, we are going to watch a live stream of a birth of a McCrazy. It's not a live stream, like a video of a
It's a video, it's not a
McCrazy
stream,
on
yeah.
a video on a live stream. Okay, cool. Correct.
However,
okay.
since we do have
Kill
our
them.
lovely Moon here, I thought we could go through a little bit of incel garbage that I found.
Oh yeah.
Tasty.
My favorite topic.
I
Nom,
thought
nom,
it
nom,
would
nom,
be
gobble, gobble, gobble.
appropriate. So,
But it reminds me a lot of that
Uh-huh.
because they put out just garbage lies like
Oh yeah.
Alien Moon the catfish. She's just using people for money. Apparently, I did not know this, but I was dating Dead Kennedy in Space and Cross Puncher at the same time. You could have fooled me. I didn't know. I had
Hey,
no clue about that.
if it makes it feel any better, I'm married to AT2 Productions, and I'm flying all the way to California to suck Steve's dick. And currently, AT2 and Red's rhetoric are fighting in a vicious love triangle, all while I'm actually a
And-
sweet heathen.
Oh, and apparently, Steve has.
And I'm not a woman.
Yes. Oh yeah, you're not a woman. That's the best one I've ever heard. Like, Chef is not a woman. Like, come on. Like, yeah, not a real woman. Like, for some reason, for some
As
like.
if that would be a bad thing.
She's a goblin. Like, goblins can, transform from one gender to another, and they live such long
Ooh.
lives.
So they're like fish?
Sort of.
Mine
Is
is
it-
in a
is it-
super
Is it
chat
just
for
fish
you.
that do that? I thought there was like something else that did that too.
Kawasifer2 said, "Do we get to see a drunk Miss Unicorn today?"
I wish I can't because work. I'm actually right now I'm on call, so I can be called into work anytime, so I can't afford to.
If she has to dip, that's where she's going. All right, are you ready?
All right,
See, that's
here we
hustle
go.
though. Y'all ladies have hustle.
Yo.
No,
Apparently.
hustle.
All right, let's do this.
Let's make this large. And let's move. Sorry, I gotta move me out of the way real quick. Whoop. I gotta be tiny. Whoop. Whoop. Whoop.
Whoop.
There we go. Yeah. All right. You guys should be able to see it now. On the internal. Can you guys see that?
Yeah, I can see it.
Wonderful. If you click on it, it should make it big for each of you. You just have to click on that little screen. If you're not an incel, you have no reason to be depressed. Title pretty much says it all. If you ever have regular contact with the opposite sex, kissing, hand-holding, sex, etc., you have no fucking reason to be depressed and complain about your life.
Wow.
JFL at these sex havers pretending they know what depression was.
What? Just for that. What the hell? There's so much that. Is it? Are they saying that only incels have the right or the capability? I don't know. Capability will be a wrong word. That only incels can be depressed, or is it? What?
Apparently, they're gatekeeping depression.
What the actual fuck? Like, seriously. Do they not understand how clinical depression even fucking works? It has nothing to do with sex, you asshole.
Oh god. You can be the most successful person on this planet and still have depression.
I like sex
For real.
havers. These sex
I mean, it's a good way to get serotonin though.
Sex
Right.
haver.
That's how I use it.
It's a serotonin boost. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Reminder.
I mean, it doesn't completely fix the problem, but it literally floods your brain with serotonin and dopamine. And so it can help with it, and it's almost like taking medication.
Reminder to leave bad reviews on your local female-owned businesses.
Oh my god. Fuck no.
Reminder truly. Oh my
Damn
goodness.
you, patriarchy.
Oh my gosh. I swear.
Seriously, you gotta have a lot of time on your hands to go out, seek out the local businesses who are owned by females. I don't know how you verify that. And then leave bad reviews.
Well,
You gotta
here's the
have
thing.
time on your hands.
You're making the assumption that they actually go to these places and actually see if they're any good or not.
They must
No,
have
I'm not saying that.
absolutely
I'm not saying
no
that. I'm not saying-
concept
Yeah.
about how local businesses, especially female-owned businesses, not only do they, I mean, it's economically sound for your local area to have these types of businesses. Are they just wanting their town or city or county or whatever to freaking go under?
Yes. Yes.
Jesus.
I don't think
They
they thought
prefer
about
that
the
into getting into the
economic
matriarchy.
ramifications.
Yep.
Oh, Phil Jesus in you is here. I don't want to, but thanks.
Ah,
Somebody's named Field Jesus, and you said, "Hi Chesh, you and internet need to apologize for saying we live on a globe with gravity. It's a flat Earth plane, no gravity proved. I know quantum stuff plus tons of evidence. Earth is flat. Thanks."
What's quantum stuff?
quantum stuff.
I'm assuming this person is kidding. I'm granting the charity that they're making a joke.
This is not parody, no, because they actually frequent the I network and everywhere else, and they are real. They're not opposed.
Oh, well, okay.
I feel Jesus in you. Hold on, I got something for him. It's a flat plane, no gravity being proved. So how are we staying on this flat plane if there's no gravity?
I mean, that's nice. That I have another one. What's on the other side of it? Like a coin.
What's underneath?
Australia.
What's underneath?
Australia.
Okay. And New Zealand, where I live. Yeah, New Zealand. Yeah, New Zealand's just dangling off the edge, eh?
The reason we're here is because of density, y'all. Don't y'all know how flat Earth works?
I mean, to be fair, I think
Density.
probably a lot of parents are probably dense when they had their children, so maybe.
I have. You can't even spell the word have. How do you have quantum awareness?
Quantum
awareness.
All the quantum stuff.
That's all they need. Quantum stuff, and they're aware about the quantum.
I bet this Jesus in you is one of those sex havers.
You're studying quantum awareness.
My therapist.
Listen. Oh, yeah. It's alright.
Move on. Let him go. Poor guy.
Sorry. It just pisses me off. Oh my goodness.
I'm more than happy if you would like. Apparently, Fight the Flat Earth is looking at setting up some debates for me personally, so if you would like to have that discussion, contact Fight the Flat Earth. My therapist asked me. I told him that I am a touchless, kissless virgin. He told me not to worry about it and focus on my other hobbies to make myself happy. How the fuck can I be happy by doing other things when my primitive biological urge is to have sex? Fucking blue-filled cuck. Scree. That's equivalent
listen.
to... Yeah.
Listen, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but sex is great. It's absolutely wonderful. And it is a part of happiness, but if that's not what makes a person happy.
Have they heard about self-service? have they heard about self-service? You know?
Hey, self-service can be really good.
You know, I can guarantee you that, you know, you don't need anything else once you master the art of self-service. So yeah, like if you have that much primitive urge or primal urge for sex, maybe learn some self-service. I'm just saying. And yeah,
you can buy hookers too.
Yeah, but
there's more than one skin a cat.
You have to pay the hookers, isn't it?
I mean, I'm not gonna.
If you're a dude, though,
I'm not gonna kink shame somebody who wants to buy a hooker on a Friday night. Do it if that's what gets your rocks off. But
yeah, pay them nice, treat them nice, and they will probably treat you nice. Like
you could even have a girlfriend experience.
Do you happen to recall the "I've opened the door for you, now give me the sex"?
I have spent at least five nice guy coins. I require intercourse now. Open thine legs.
Oh, I spent $200 on the dinner. Yes, you owe me sex. Like
I saw this lady got a Venmo request for money, and the guy was like, we went on a date and we didn't smash, so I'm gonna need that $20 back, please.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one. Oh my goodness. Oh goodness. Oh my goodness.
Poor Field Jesus, and you got kicked out for poor grammar. Aww.
Hey, bull to the rescue.
So there's a second half to this one. So the therapist, right? There's a second half. That's equivalent to telling you not to worry about drinking water or eating food. Just focus on hobbies. LOL.
Really? You know, you
Sex
can
is like
die in
water.
3 days. You know, you can
Yep.
die in 3 days, and within like maybe approximately 7 to 10 days, if you don't drink water, it's 3 days, I think, average. And if you don't eat food, it's 7 to 10 days. You can die due to hunger and starvation.
Or 6 months if you're American.
Bragg,
So,
Bragg says
sex,
this is the equivalent of someone screaming at automated doors for not opening fast enough.
Oh, let me tell you, I'm very impatient with automatic doors. I just really want to like kick at them when they just you're standing under that infrared sensor. You know, you've got a big ass, so it should be sensing that you're there. And then it just doesn't do anything. And as soon as you walk away, it opens up. You're like 3 feet away, and it opens up suddenly, like open sesame, and you're like, what the hell?
Well, I walk so fast, they're too slow.
Yeah, I'm Flash. I'm
It's like
female
I
Flash.
got places to be. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Message to infiltrators and foids.
Foids. What's
Foids.
foids?
Females, women.
Oh,
I have
okay.
a 700. I have a 700 IQ. I will burrow into your tiny, insignificant brains and turn you into disciples of the black pill, as I have already done to Brazilian Kukma.
Same.
This is a game of 4D chess, and your small, atrophied brain cells can't even begin to comprehend how proficient I am at playing. I control
Did
you.
Onixion write that?
Whether you realize it or not, you spread my dark word unwillingly. You are nothing but a pathetic husk of a human I manipulate at will.
And the response is also epic to that.
That's a different one.
Oh,
that is
oh.
appropriate.
Yeah, that's appropriate, isn't it? Wow, thank you, our messiah, our prophet.
Thanks. So I guess we women will never have to apologize for anything, because anything we do is just by the whim of this dude. So if you're looking for us to apologize for anything or be held responsible for anything, sorry, you're gonna have to look up this dumbass over here.
Hey,
He's responsible if I smash something, it's this dude's fault. It's his word I'm spreading.
It's not my fault. It's the fault of some man. Sorry. So if any man is ever unhappy with something a woman has done, obviously it's his fault, because the woman can't be responsible.
Yeah. Bull's like, 700 IQ. Why are you acting like a psychopath then?
Mm-hmm.
This one's titled.
Can you have 700 IQ?
No, the max is like 200 or something.
Yeah. Ugh.
Wow, I'm cured. Thank you. I hate it when femcells complain. All you need to do is attract a 5+ male. Male is to be a healthy weight. So all you need to do to get a guy is be a healthy weight. Don't eat like a pig. Plenty of 5 out of 10s and 6 out of 10s would love an ugly, skinny woman. Oh my god, how hard is it? Meanwhile, men will always be eliminated for physical traits beyond their control. I think you femcells only complain because you all want chadlights or high-tier normies. You don't notice ugly guys, your weight matches, etc. So this dude is complaining that you're a woman who doesn't get laid. Well, you just need to be better. I mean, then why doesn't that apply to you?
Like, yeah, well, like, I think the same rules should apply to you too. That you eliminate women who even if they match your body structure and stuff, you still don't want to go after. You don't think them worthy of relationships because wifey goals. So what the heck?
The irony of this complaint. The irony of this complaint is that these men don't want to be with women who are, because like he said, 5 out of 10s or 6 out of 10 men would love an ugly skinny woman. As opposed to an ugly fat woman, I guess.
I guess maybe because they're focusing on the personality rather than, whether the woman is skinny or fat or ugly, beautiful by anybody's standards. Maybe that's why,
A femcell
is the women.
Is the woman version of an incel. They
Oh.
exist. They're real.
Okay.
They're just as terrifying. I'm sure one day we'll get to them. How to be attractive.
Oh, that would be beautiful.
How to be an attractive foid. Don't be too fat. Don't overeat. Learn to use makeup. How to be an attractive man. Born with symmetrical masculine facial features. You could just use makeup for that. Born tall, at least 5'10". Wear platforms. Born with a wide frame. Born with a big dick. Born with a good hairline.
Same.
Follow a strict diet. Lift weights 3+ times a week. Have good social skills. Be liked by other women. Be liked by other women and respected by other men. Okay, I'm gonna ask real quick. Who cares about dick size that much? Anybody in here care
Nope.
about dick size that much?
Nope. Let me tell you, dick size is not a guarantee of good sex for anybody out there.
Right?
It's not a guarantee of good and healthy sex.
Like, we got hibachi.
know?
Come on.
We got a bocce. Listen, if you're concerned that your dick is too small, there's other ways to skin a cat.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Like,
There's
that's
so
the thing,
many
it's like-
tools and ways.
All you have to do is be willing to experiment and be willing to do what it takes to make the other person satisfied. There's so many men who just don't care at the end of the day.
Yeah,
Like, they just care, oh, I came, I'm happy now. I'm just gonna roll over and go to sleep. It's the
Yep.
people who, like, try to innovate and actually care about, like, how the other person feels that are gonna, like, really last longer. It doesn't matter how big or small it is,
yeah.
So
Just thinking
I'm
about
a tiny
guy
person,
who is.
so I would struggle with a dick that's too big potentially. I'm a tiny person.
Yeah,
I
it depends.
would-
Yeah,
I mean,
Yep.
good social skills don't mean that much to me because I'm kind of introverted too.
Yeah.
Lifting weight, I could give two shits about.
Yeah, that's
Good hairline. You haven't
Like,
seen
if
my
you're an
ex-husband, like that
asshole-
doesn't matter.
If you're an asshole, what's the point of lifting weights and being born with a big dick or wide frame or being 5'10" tall? If you're an asshole, doesn't matter. Everything just goes out through the window from the
Oh,
start. So maybe how to be an attractive man or woman? Don't be an asshole for starters, and then maybe be empathetic and be a good human being. Maybe start from there. Let's start the list from there. Shouldn't we? That's the minimum basic expectations, isn't it, from any human being? Like, come on. It's I don't know. Like, I guess it's maybe because, like, some of these people are, I don't know, even introverts know these basics. Like, majority of
Oh,
the
yeah.
introverts, they know these basics. Like, you gotta be a good human being and a decent human being and not be an asshole to come into, for someone to notice you. And let me tell you, people notice you if you're a nice person and if you're kind and if you're respectful. That's the best
Genuine
way
and
to get
kind.
someone's, yeah, that's the best way to get someone's attention. If you're coming in, oh, I like with you, hello, and with your big dick, it's not gonna, nobody
Yeah,
cares.
exactly.
Because
I mean,
how you
it's
treat,
it's fun
like,
to have somebody that's just, kind of boastful and stuff. I mean, they're fun to, like,
yeah,
look at and experience near them, but to be with somebody like that, it's a nightmare. It really is. Like,
yeah, like,
honestly, I look for who clicks with me on a personal level, because I'm gonna
Right.
be spending as much time as possible with them. Because when I like somebody, all I want to do is spend time with them. So
yeah,
why would you want to go for somebody who doesn't have the same interests in you, who's a jerk and makes fun of you all the time, and just all this other stuff? At the end of the
yeah,
day, certain things like that he's trying to say don't actually matter, because you click with a certain number of people and you click with a certain type of person, and so
Yeah.
all that stuff is just an afterthought.
And I think that also
Yeah.
depends on the person too, right? Some people like to have that additional space, so it's good to have things in common but have different hobbies. Then you can learn about the other person's hobby and you learn something, but it might not be your jam. It might not be your thing, which means that you still get to learn about something, but you don't spend as much time doing it, and you both have your own things to work on, so that way you're not attached at the hip all the time. And some people like to be attached all of the time, and some people don't. And the answer, what it comes down to, is everybody has different tastes. This list is like, I guess this is what they find attractive in a man.
Yeah,
Or vice versa, what they find attractive in another person,
Right.
or what they think that
What they
lack.
think is valuable. Yeah.
Yeah,
valuable,
it's literally their superficial vision of what they think other people
be
look
valued.
for, because that's what they're looking for themselves, just in the opposite sex.
Yeah.
So they're, complaining.
Kawasa for 5 says, clearly a lie. If all of that is true, how did Steve ever meet Sweet?
Ooh, good point.
Shots fired. I actually really like this makeup. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, that makeup is fine. Like,
Ooh,
I have tried putting on lipstick, and I don't know how. Like, people who do makeup out there, I applaud you. How doesn't your lipstick look smudgy on the ends of your lips? I don't know. Even with foundation and stuff, I don't know how to do
Get
it.
a
I
pencil.
don't.
Oh yeah.
Get a lip liner.
I tried that. Let me tell you, I'm just so bad at it.
Practice, I guess.
Gotta go lip liner above the lips and then pull down from the
it's fucking
with the lipstick.
It's fucking absurd how obsessed how obsessed women are with taking pictures of themselves. Just think about that degree of narcissistic personality disorder in at least 50% of the population, but we're all acting like it's fucking normal. Okay, clown world.
It's not just women, you dick.
Right?
Men do that too.
Oh my gosh.
But my problem is, like, what's the problem? Like, if someone is taking a lot of selfies, what's your problem? If they're not harming someone and it's their time, it's their energy, what's your problem, bitch? Simple as that.
They see other people enjoying their lives and they become irrationally angry and they want to ruin that.
Ooh, on the money.
Yeah.
There we go.
Helios for 5 said, as a guy who is larger than average, I can attest to it is not always a good thing. It sucks to have to be careful to not hurt your partner.
See?
Helios has a big dick. Today I learned.
See, it's not all, honey and unicorns, I guess.
Gold and unicorns, you mean?
Maybe.
Women take too many pictures, though.
Come on, that was a good joke. I only got one laugh. What is this? What is this?
Bragg is giving you some advice about lipstick. Apparently foundation. When you put on liquid foundation, make sure to get a thin layer of it onto your lips so that the lipstick sticks to the foundation and doesn't move, then set with a translation.
Okay, no, I give up. I can't put so many layers on my skin anyways. I feel claustrophobic anyways. Okay, makeup, get out of the window. Bye-bye.
Fear the day that females no longer need to pretend to like us.
Oh my god.
Hey, I like some of them.
Hey, Mikey's here. Hi, Mikey.
Mikey Salmon?
Yeah.
Mr. Mikey Salmon?
The only reason females don't go around openly professing the importance of genetics/looks is because of the perceived negative social consequence. Females are deeply concerned about their public perception to a much greater extent than males. This isn't a result of conditioning. This behavior occurs on a biological level. It's why they wear makeup, lie, and compete with females around them despite it being useless.
What the heck?
You often see females complimenting their friends or virtue signaling about issues to fit in, but their true thoughts tell a completely different story. I'm sure this person knows. I'm sure this person in the inceldom discussion forum knows what's going on. Those are the true thoughts of all women.
Oh yeah, he interviewed a minimum 1,000 women, in a sample size to come to that inference and conclusion. Yeah, right. Maybe think for the fact that women like sometimes, maybe put the makeup so they feel good about themselves, and it's not like to attract any other male attention. Maybe because humans are not looking for mates all the time. Maybe because there are other things in life that matter more
No,
than
there's
looking
no
for
way. The
males?
only things women do is about men. The only reason women do anything is it's about a man. Or more men
No,
in
it's
general.
for Chad.
Specifically
Oh.
Chad's, yeah.
Yeah.
All hail Chad. Praise be.
Yep.
Praise
See,
be.
everything I do is for the Chads of the world. That's
One
all
of the
that's all I
reasons I'm
desire.
so adamant about the black pill is because I've experienced the real side of females. Who hurt you? They mostly keep this aspect of themselves concealed due to the remaining conservative patriarchal social elements of society. If/when these elements totally collapse, you will experience the cold and malicious side of females much more often. Somebody
my
hurt this
gosh.
man. Some women
Wah,
shit
wah, wah.
on this
Fleshlight,
man's heart.
actually.
Somebody like just stabbed at his heart, you know. Somebody did not realize, like, rejected that they were being so nice, and they used their 10 nice coins, nice guy coins, and they
Yeah.
didn't get the reward that they were owed. So yeah, this poor creature. Oh my. I'm so
Right. I feel so bad for him.
I straight up
little
feel bad for
girl.
this guy.
Yeah.
I
Kiki's hurt.
don't understand these assholes sometimes. It's like, grow a pair, go out, ask a woman on a date, and quit being a dick. know?
Yeah, that's
Pretty
the right
much.
word. That's such a
Honestly.
yes.
Best
Like,
question. Incels who have guns, why haven't you shot yourself yet? What the hell?
Oh God, come on.
The
Oh,
only
yeah, yeah,
reason
yeah.
why I haven't hung themselves, is because I don't have access to good suicide methods. But incels with guns
Oh my
can just end it by pulling the trigger. What makes you not pull the trigger? Are you some kind of fake cell or what? They're saying they're not really incels if they haven't killed themselves yet.
Oh my God. Yay. Ouch.
I'm okay
Listen.
with that, actually.
Oh.
I've seen what incels do to women, so I'm kind of fine with that.
Listen,
don't commit suicide. Don't
No,
do that.
please.
Go get help.
That,
Please.
Yes.
yeah.
Disclaimer.
And
That
maybe-
person needs
yeah.
serious
And maybe
help.
get some like classes where you can understand the social norms, and you can get better at interacting with opposite sex. Maybe
Learn
that might
about
be
the
better.
opposite sex a little bit. Maybe not. Maybe not rely on other people for your own happiness. Maybe just get some help, please. Go get help.
Yeah.
Get help. Suicide is serious, y'all. Don't
Stopping-
encourage it.
Yeah.
Wow, this is so dangerous. Like, people just throw out. I guess I understand that, sometimes you're angry at someone because they said certain thing, but why have to respond in such a way? Come
Mhm.
on.
It almost
Yeah.
doesn't seem like an incel wrote that.
Yeah.
But
So,
you'd be surprised.
If you really
though.
think about it.
I know what you
True.
mean, but
Yeah, true.
But they're very much tear each other down kind of situation.
Yes.
Stopping simping will not solve inceldom. Even 100% of men, if 100% of men stop simping women, can and will still choose chads to fuck them rather than how much guys simp on her. Simping is a consequence, not a cause of inceldom. Simps simp because they think it will work for them. Because guess what? They don't have sex. Yeah, women have hyperinflated egos. Cool. But still, what prevents
nice.
what prevents a girl to fuck a chad with or without simps? All she's got to do is go on a random date app, and that's it. No need for simps to inflate her ego. Sorry, I'm correcting the grammar as I'm reading. No need to nothing. All she needs is to find a chad nearby and fuck them. The only real solution is to make chads unavailable. Either they get married soon, they die, they catch coronavirus, and get quarantined forever. They get in prison, or we make dating apps and social media not work anymore. The problem is not small businesses trying to lower their prices to compete. The problem is fucking Chadmazon.
What the hell?
that delivers everything you need to your house
So
for
then
lower
what's the
prices.
problem? Is it Chads or simps that are the problem? I don't get it.
Telling men to stop simping is like telling businesses to close. Yeah, guess what? People are still gonna buy from Amazon regardless.
How about
the
incels
hell?
just quit blaming everybody else for their issues?
Simp's gonna simp.
Like, maybe people compliment each other because they like other people to like them, or maybe they genuinely feel about other people in that way. Maybe.
No, can't be that.
Yeah. Oh god, this is like.
Yeah, he's right. Goodness gracious.
What kind of skills does a man need to have in bed? The only one I can think of is how to eat pussy, but that is cucked. You're basically you're whipped and you suck if you decide to pleasure a woman in that way. Other than that, how good a man is in bed is dependent on how good looking he is or how big his dick is. No. Is there any real skill involved in how you fuck?
Okay.
This is so weird.
This guy has never fucked. That's quite obvious.
I mean, I think the
like-
skill of knowing how to eat pussy is a good skill to have, but
Yeah. I can get on board with that.
it's not the only skill.
No, there's so
The
many
motion
other
of the
aspects.
ocean?
Yeah.
Like I've
Yeah.
literally heard of people saying that going down on a woman is gay, so try and like
Right.
justify that to me too. So.
Yeah, good luck with that one.
What?
So,
Yeah,
so
like,
confusing.
you know that you can
So-
use like blindfolds in bed, right?
Sorry,
That
what?
means I
didn't
don't
catch
even
that.
have to look at your face.
That just cut out for me. Sorry. What did you say, Shesh?
I said that you don't have to look at somebody. So how good looking someone is not conducive to how good they are at sex necessarily. But here's the thing, sex takes practice.
Yeah. Also,
Well, and also
when-
let's be clear that also sex with a new partner, regardless, takes practice. So it doesn't matter how experienced
Oh,
or
yeah.
inexperienced you are. You can be completely inexperienced and meet someone. It's going to take as much time to get used to that person's wants and needs and meeting those as if you were, on your 100th sexual partner, right? I mean,
effort and communication goes such a long
Yes.
way in this type of
Yeah.
thing.
yes.
Also-
Especially if it's your first time with a specific person. Just have a
Exactly.
discussion.
Yes.
Like so many people don't. They just go into it and flail
Listen,
around.
if a guy, like, even if I'm like going out with a guy for the first time and he starts asking me questions like what I like during sex, that's a huge turn on for me. Like, this guy's asking about what I like. That's
Mhm.
like awesome.
It's rare.
Like, yeah. Oh, okay. I have no idea
Well,
about that.
yeah.
So, but I'm saying that's what I would like. Like, that's what you'd like. What would you like, right, in your
Right.
partner? For them to be considerate about your preferences,
But
right?
yeah, just
You
have a
might not
conversation
agree
about
with
it.
everything.
Here's the thing. If you want to know what a woman likes in bed, ask her. Because
There
each
you
woman
go.
is going to be
Who knew?
different.
Oh.
I say this because some users on this forum claim to have 7 to 8 inch dicks. So if they manage to look max,
God.
which means that they get themselves to look as good as they possibly can, to ascension levels, how would a girl tell if they are shit at sex when they're getting plowed by a monster cock?
Yep.
I can tell.
Smitty, I'm being hypothetical. Yes, I'm still a virgin. Okay.
I'm not a huge
So that
viewer
auction's
of.
coming soon.
I'm not a huge viewer
that
of
auction's
prawn
coming
though,
soon.
so maybe I'm wrong. Enlighten me. Please don't use prawn as your way of deciding how sex works.
Prawn.
Mm-mm-mm.
Oh, prawn.
Yeah, prawn.
And we're demonetized.
We're talking about like 7 to 8 inch dicks and like killing yourself. I think we're screwed.
You know, it can be so hard. It can actually be harmful to have that long dicks inside your body. Like, it can tear you, isn't it? If I'm not wrong, enlighten me if I'm not wrong. So
Oh yeah, it hurts.
maybe that's why
It
women.
really does.
Yeah,
Mhm.
maybe that's why women are not coming near you, because you
coming
straight
at
up go,
all.
oh yeah, I got a huge dick, and they're like scared that you might tear them or you might hurt them, and
Mhm.
you're not asking them like, how can we make this, comfortable for both the parties? Maybe that's why, yeah. Okay.
Communicate with your partner. If a guy is highly attractive, it will be hard for a woman to just pass that up if you have if you had a friend with an attractive boyfriend. Do you think biology would allow you to think rationally? So if Manya was dating somebody who was super duper attractive, they're asking if I would be able to not go for Manya's boyfriend. Or
Yes.
Yes.
yes, if you actually have a brain and you know how respect works.
Yeah.
Biology
And how-
often overrides rationality, unfortunately. It's like a woman picking a short man over a tall guy.
I would pick a short, genuine guy over a tall asshole guy any day. That's
Me too.
LOL,
It's like-
dude, you were provided with the highest form of intelligence as a human. Make use of that and don't give me shit about biology. A cheater is a cheater because they chose to cheat.
Exactly.
Don't argue me with argue with. Biology.
Well, that's-
Next time you try. I can't read. Don't
That's
argue.
also another thing that like bothers me with this whole like, oh, these super handsome chads and stuff. It's like
Uh-huh.
every person has an attraction level. Everybody's attracted to a different facial
Right.
structure, a
Yeah.
different way of being, and yet they act like this one attractive type person is great for everybody, when in general the more what's the word, conventionally attractive man, to me personally, is not as attractive as the person I go towards.
Me
I'm not
too.
sure how to I'm not sure how to phrase that better.
I'm
But
really sorry that
I-
happened to you,
I
Greg.
get you.
That's awful.
like this is the whole societal thing of, oh, all women are attracted to this one style of person, this one cheekbone body type. That's not true. Every
Nope.
woman has their own preference, just like every man has their own preference.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
it makes no sense to me that everybody tries to box in every single person into one thing, even though we know everybody has these different things. It blows my mind how people just won't, I keep
I think
rambling.
because that's
Yeah.
what their own expectations are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they project it onto other
Yeah.
or other people or onto the whole society.
Yeah.
It's that.
I mean,
And
you'll
And then
accept if
there's-
somebody prefers chocolate over vanilla, but when somebody's like, oh, well, I prefer women who are a bit thicker, I prefer women who are a bit thinner, I prefer women who have larger butts or larger whatevers. Like, for example, I prefer men
Eyes.
who don't exactly look like a per se Chad.
Mhm.
It's so weird that we're totally fine with people having preferences on food, but with opposite gender or the same gender, we're suddenly like, oh, well,
Right.
they prefer one thing and that's it. I just,
Yeah.
it makes no sense to me.
Also, yeah. Mikey in the chat, he he has a very good point here. When we make ranking systems for other men, I generally think that they are interested in men over women, which is fine, but maybe they are hunting the wrong fox. Interesting.
Ooh.
I love it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Women sexualize
Mikey and his
themselves.
wisdom.
Women sexualize themselves, then blame men for sexualizing women. One trip to Instagram and you'll see women flaunting their bodies everywhere, embracing it. A numerous amount of music artists intentionally show off their body, from rappers to pop singers. You girls sexualize themselves when you make everything about your tits and ass. Us guys like them, obviously, and we're gonna keep liking them if you keep flaunting it. I think no matter whether it's flaunted or not, you're gonna like it if that's your preference. But they don't have to keep popping out. Don't have to be popping out your turtleneck for us to appreciate them. Now, I'm not saying that you deserve to be sexually harassed on the street or catcalled. That's not my intention with this post. What I'm saying is that there are plenty of women who enjoy enjoy sexualizing themselves and embracing their body. So when a guy comments like, damn, you're so thick, with 3 fire emojis, you can't just call him a misogynistic pig who should stop objectifying women. A lot of them do it to themselves because they like doing it. And if that's what they enjoy, then that's cool. Why would I have a problem with that? Women need to stop acting like somehow it's forced upon them all the time.
Oh, fuck off.
I think this person makes an interesting point, actually.
Yeah, it's there are many aspects to this point according to me.
I think it's a slippery slope, though.
Yeah. Well, it depends. Like, if someone's taking, like, pictures of themselves, like whatever they mean by sexy pictures of themselves, and posting it on Instagram, and they and the report is set up like, if someone's complimenting them in that way, they say thank you very much, and they set that precedent, then they can put a stop to it if they want to. We should respect their wishes if they say, no, I don't want those type of compliments anymore. It's all about consent again. So to say, like, but if someone compliments you the first time and then you immediately launch off on them without communication, then that's wrong. But if you have told your audiences again and again, this is just for me, I'm posting pictures for me, please don't put these comments under my pictures, and they still do it, then that becomes harassment, according to me.
Well, that's also another thing, though, is sometimes, like, they'll be like, oh, well, I just complimented you, but then you look at the compliment, it's like, wow, you have such giant massive tits, and it's super vulgar over something that's like a bikini or pushed up breasts or something like that. It's in moderation. Like, if somebody says, wow, you look beautiful, I like your figure, that's a little bit more acceptable than somebody saying, oh, I love your tits or something like that.
Or,
like,
oh man, I'd like to bend you over a table, and that when you get so vulgar with it that it's like, okay, dude, like, come on, man.
These people
I don't mind
literally
if you look
complain.
at me. I don't mind if you look at me.
Yeah, they'll literally complain that a woman did not
was
not happy about the way that they went about it when they went about it, and they said it in such a vulgar and disgusting way that it just made you super uncomfortable.
Yeah, I think it's a slippery slope because to say that women bring it on themselves removes the onus that you carry as far as being able to react. So it's a slippery slope. If we say and set the precedence that an Instagram photo, comment, whatever the case may be, or Snapchat, TikTok, wherever you're at, a revealing photo is instantaneously calling for this type of rhetoric, then it's a slippery slope from that point to saying, oh, you wore that dress to a party, you deserved what happened.
Sure.
So I think it's really important to say that at the end of the day, how someone reacts to a post that someone thinks, the onus is on them.
I think there's also something to be said for if another woman, if a woman posts a picture clearly flaunting, clearly being like, look at me, I'm attractive, that's not a problem, and somebody says, wow, that's a really nice picture, and then some other woman comes in and says, you're a misogynistic pig, well, that's your opinion, I guess, but they weren't really talking about you, and it kind of might not be any of your business.
Yeah. Yep.
Now, it's one thing if they've said on their post and they've made it clear, like, and again, if somebody's being so vulgar that it's like, listen, I'm posting this picture. I don't mind if you look at me. I don't care what you do with this picture. However, don't involve me in it, which means I don't want to know that you've necessarily jerked off to it 7 times or what you want to do to me. Don't involve me. That's the line for me personally. Is like, listen, if I have a photo and you like that photo, you can do whatever the hell you want with that photo. That is fine by me, but you don't need to involve me in it.
Yeah. Like,
you don't need to explain to me what my photos of my smiling face did to your penis.
That's true, exactly. Exactly.
Like,
my picture of me, you being allotted to enjoy that picture of me, does not mean I want to know about your dick.
Exactly. Like, you can do it in private. What you do in private is up to you. But when you involve a second and a third party in it, then it starts becoming a problem. And you can have, we are obviously against punishing people for thought crime. But when you start bringing in the second and the third party, or the person whose picture you are watching or whatever, enjoying yourself to, then that's the line of demarcation, I think. So that's the line that you shouldn't jump, according to me. Yeah, you can have also.
I do want to say that I agree with Smitty. Smitty said that offending a woman isn't misogyny, even if you're way too vulgar. I agree with that. I don't think if you make a comment that is vulgar and the person is offended and says, please don't talk to me that way, that in and of itself is misogyny. I do agree that bigotry against women is misogyny. So I agree with that sentiment. I think, though, once the woman says, or even male for that matter, because it can be either way, I think once the person says, hey, I posted this as a feel-good picture for me, I don't want those type of comments on my post, then at that point, the responsibility is back on that person to say, understood, and they back off. But I don't think that making a vulgar comment equals misogyny.
Misogyny is a behavior that is consistent and a thought, like a what's the word? A thought process, not a process. There's a word, and my brain is not whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about. My brain's not doing my brain's not giving me the word. It's a consistency in, like, you would have to be of the opinion that all women are blank to start going down that sexist line. Any woman who's posted a picture wants this attention. Stuff like that is where you start going down
for that reason. I'm starting to lose my voice, y'all. Some people don't do it for that reason. Some people, for, like, I have my sister as an example. My sister's been training for a half marathon for the past year, and her journey, she is actually blogging and doing on her Instagram from where she started and where's her journey, and something she's proud of, and it's something she wants to be able to document and look back on, right?
And, like, being confident, like, you post pictures when you feel confident, and just feeling that, and then feeling like this validation of looking at it on social media and being like, oh wow, I actually do look pretty. Like I like it when I get comments where it's like, oh wow, you look beautiful. But, like, then when people comment stuff like, just vulgar, disgusting things when I'm not in the position, Instagram is not the place for that type of thing. If you want to talk to women like that, if you want to be like nice, body parts, if you want to be super vulgar and disgusting, go on Pornhub, go on FetLife.
There are places where there are places where it's appropriate. There are places for you to have that interaction if that's the interaction you're looking for. Pushing it onto people.
Reddit's off the wall for men who want to talk to women like that. But when you're on a Facebook post, when you're on an Instagram post, and maybe even a Twitter, just try to be a little bit less, gross type of thing. It's just,
So here we go. Your actions are not my fault. This one dude comes into my shop a few times a week. It's a repair place. And the way he looks at me makes me feel very uncomfortable. It's like he's picturing a fantasy with me in his head right there in front of me. It's gross. He looks at me like I am his prey with this creepy "I want you" smile. It makes me feel horribly uncomfortable, and when I ask him to stop, he says, "I can't help it, baby. It's not my fault." You better be fucking kidding me. For one, I am not your fucking baby. Two, it is 100% your fucking fault. You're a grown-ass man and you're telling me you can't control your body and the way you look at people? He came in today about 30 minutes ago, looked at me the same way he always does with that smile again, and told me, I told him, please don't look at me like that. I really don't like it. He says, like what, babe? I can't help it. I snapped and said, like a fucking predator. He got mad and left. Good riddance. It just pisses me off that he has the audacity to blame me for the way he looks at me. And then when I ask him to stop, he brushes it off. I don't care if you don't think you're doing anything wrong. I have asked you to stop, and I have told you multiple times that it makes me uncomfortable, so stop fucking doing it. It's fucking courtesy. This man is literally double my age, married, and has children older than me.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, well. Now this is where you're like, yep, here's my gentle, here's your head, let's go.
Yeah. Well,
That's so dumb.
it's in part society teaches men that the things that they do in response to what a woman looks like or what she wears is not their fault, it's the woman's fault. Like,
Yeah,
if you
whatever
have a
reaction-
society that...
Yeah, go on, Nick, it's hard.
Oh, you're fine. If you have a society that literally tells women, oh, well, you shouldn't have been here, you shouldn't have been walking here, you shouldn't have worn that, you know, in a bar, anywhere, then you'll have this type of thing. That's literally the definition of rape culture. Oh, you look a certain way, so how I treat you and how I act is not my fault because you're a woman and you shouldn't exist and be pretty without me being able to just be gross and nasty.
Yeah, like women don't have any right to choose what they can wear or what they can look like, and any whatever. So they conveniently cut out that that whoever is deciding to harm someone, they're choosing that action. It's not an instinctive thing that they have no control over. Or
So
it's what they're choosing to do.
The chat is bringing up something interesting. Chemo says it's gross, but he's under no obligation to respect her requests. I agree, but it is still his responsibility. He doesn't have to not look at her in that way, outside of potentially getting the cops called on him. There are still ramifications for those actions. However, it's not her fault.
Yeah.
Right? That's the problem she's having. She's having an issue with respect, but she's mad that she's getting blamed for his behavior when it's not her fault.
So let me just make this clear, because I went offline for a few minutes when Shashi were reading that scenario out. So she's asked that guy, to stop with that, hasn't she?
Yep. And they're in
at her place of work.
At her place of work, yeah, exactly.
Like,
and he's
this
told
is
her
a
that
customer that's coming in.
And he's told her that he is doing it intentionally.
Yes.
And that it's her fault.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Where are my genitals? Where are they? Okay. All right. So if I decide to because of his, the way he's acting like an asshole, I decide to take out my genitals and start hitting him. So it's his fault, right? Right? Yeah, I think so. Where are my bloody genitals?
All right, we got. We're gonna have to.
Violent.
We're gonna have to start wrapping a little bit soon. We're gonna do a little bit of a shorter show. We want to check on our friends, make sure we're okay, and I believe Moon has to go soon. So I've got a video for all of you before we go, and I want to give you guys the birth of McCrazy. This is about to be absolutely fantastic. I hope you are ready.
McCrazy bird. Okay.
Sorry. 1 second to get it up. Do.
Oh.
Can you see it all right? That was a good...
yeah.
All right, fantastic. Here we go.
Okay.
Let go.
So, y'all, okay. I'm so furious with the fact that Steve McRae is allowed to be a fucking douchebag and nobody cares, and yet he still has followers, and yet he's still allowed to treat people the way he does, especially women, and nobody cares. Like, what the fuck is wrong with this dude, and why are any of y'all people following him? Honestly, do you have a brain? Do you? Because whatever greater whatever there is gave us a brain for a fucking reason. Yet nobody chooses to use it whenever it comes to fucking Steve McRae. a douchebag, dude's a fucking liar, a chauvinistic sexual harassment pig, and guess what? I'm not monetized, so I can say whatever the fuck I want to. Dude's a fucking pig. It's ridiculous. And then now, like,
Can you give your
I'm
reasons
sorry,
for
what makes
that?
you a philosopher?
Can you?
I'm just.
Sorry, what?
I'm just saying, like all these accusations she's making, so far she's presented no proof for whatever claims she's made. No proof, just on a rant, and that is a hallmark of a McCrazy. Because they're personally offended by someone's behavior, because they think that's how other women should feel offended or should be affected. They think that it's wrong.
I think we need to add another. I think we need to add another saying. Needs to be citation needed.
Yeah, citation. So here's the thing. That's your opinion, and you're welcome to have that opinion. It's the accusations of like a sexual harasser that you need to start backing up.
And
but
being
this
a chauvinist and blah blah
this
blah.
gets better. Let's keep going.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, what makes you a philosopher? I'm just curious, because I thought to be a philosopher, you had to be at least a professor in a college, which takes having a master's degree in some subject. What makes you a philosopher?
Really?
Did you even graduate college? I didn't.
Steve went to nuke school. This isn't like he's a nuke.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
what? Steve
That's what I'm saying.
regularly.
This is a typical McCrazy, because they have done no research into Steve's
Who they're
background.
talking to. Who they're talking
Nothing.
about.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, nothing.
Okay. Ready?
This
I
is
didn't go to
glorious.
college. Yet I don't claim to be a philosopher. I do chemicals, imports and exports. Never claimed to be nothing other than what the fuck I am. A bitch that will tell you what the fuck I think
Woohoo!
and
Look
call
out!
you the fuck out on your bullshit. And Steve McRae, you're fucking bullshit. You are a piece of shit. You treat women like shit. You treat everybody like shit. As soon as they see through your shit, you got the game fucked up, playa. We don't fuck like that. And everybody sees you. Finally. Now.
Wait, hold up. Didn't at the beginning she complain that nobody is rational when it comes to Steve? And that nobody calls him out, and now she's saying that, yo, everybody sees you, Steve.
Which one is it? Which one is it?
Okay.
Oh,
even know.
God.
Okay, ready?
Oh my gosh.
Ready?
Let go.
Yeah.
Let go.
For who the fuck you are. You're a dirty bitch. And if
Steve, you're so
I have
dirty.
to call
Yeah, he's
you
a dirty
out
bitch. Yeah, we know
every
that.
day For the rest of my life, I will make sure you have no subscribers.
That was the, did you catch that? That's the McCrazy. This is, here it comes. She's born, everyone.
I have
Yeah,
to call you
yeah.
out every day for the rest of my life. I will make sure you have no subscribers.
If I have to call you out every day for the rest of my life.
Yes.
Oh my
this
God.
is the birth.
I don't need any subscribers. I don't give a shit. I am not on here for money. I am just on here to say that you're a fucking piece of shit, you dirty bitch. You're a cunt. Like the worst kind. Because you don't even have a pussy.
Damn.
Oh my goodness.
She's feeling some type of way right now.
Yeah, I think so. She, Senpai, notice her.
You're a piece of shit, you. And I'm sick and tired
Oh,
of
God.
fucking
I think
watching
she may
your
have a
trash
crush on
ass.
Steve.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah. Or maybe, it's just like that. It's her personal opinion how women should feel about how Steve behaves, and she's projecting it onto everybody else. Speak for yourself, will ya? And maybe she's putting out a personal opinion. We don't know, but like, come on, present some proof. Come, bring your shit to the table. Which is, apart from claims and accusations, you have done nothing. That's
All right.
it.
Mm-mm.
Here we go.
Mouth and your simpleton followers behind you. Cheshire, you're a douchebag.
Oh.
You're a fucking douchebag. That makes me
Shots
sad.
fired.
Okay, boomer.
Uh, and why is she a douchebag? Because she's alright
Yes.
with you know, how like maybe because it's like they don't think like maybe just maybe that the Steve that is being projected by everybody else without any proof is not the Steve. You know,
I
in
mean,
real
I
life.
don't mind if they think
Maybe.
I don't mind if they think I'm a douchebag. I mean, good luck convincing other people without being able to demonstrate it, but I'm okay with that. I don't,
Yeah.
that doesn't bother me. Boole says, is that Kyle's mom getting pissed because she gets a subpoena? Jesus, Boole, go for the throat.
Oh, that ball went out of the ballpark.
Oh
All
my
right.
god.
Are you ready?
All right, yeah, let's go.
Okay.
It makes me sad that you're a female and so am I. Like, what is Steve's dick
Am I?
that good? Because I have no clue why
You're a
fucking
goblin.
support him so
Hold
much.
on.
You actually have a brain, yet you
Oh, thanks.
choose not to use it. Blows my fucking mind. And Reds,
Oh,
well, I
demonstrate that.
Oh my god, the person is in the chat! Hi!
This person?
Listen, if you can demonstrate your claims, Chris, I'll be very happy. But so far, that's just a rant with no proof. So, and there are like 4 women here who are sitting here, and you on the other side. So maybe rethink about what you're talking about. Maybe you
Actually,
don't know what you're talking about.
I do have
Hey.
something that I can address real quick.
And-
Why is it
okay.
that you seem to think that I have to be getting dick, and that's so valuable to me as to why I would agree with Steve hasn't everything to do with sex for some reason? Don't time her out. She's super mad. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Don't hide
Can I
her,
say
anyone,
something
don't
real
hide
quick?
her.
Oh yeah, please.
Don't hide
please.
her.
Yeah, let her be on here. This is pretty funny.
Okay. I just want to say something real quick. Chris, listen, woman to woman, you are absolutely entitled to your opinion. However, what you're demonstrating in your video are claims, very strong claims that need evidence to back up the claims. You could have your opinion that you find Steve to be a vile human, and I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong to have your opinion. However, to sit there and say that he treats women like shit when you have 4
Yeah.
women here right now, and
Yeah.
a 5th one who's missing if you include Sweet Heathen, who have had nothing but pleasant interactions with Steve. And I say that to say that, yes, Steve can be crass, but all in all,
Yeah.
he's been nothing but a good friend to us.
Yeah.
And he's
He's
been there for us.
He's an awesome human being, and and I will repeat this again. I've said it on my Twitter. He's the one who made me believe that there's still good men out there. After all that
Yes.
I've gone through, he's the one who gives me hope. And I'm actually getting choked up
So-
about this, that there are still good men out there, you know, and who
So
respect you.
Chris,
enough
we're not trying to
be direct
stop you
with
from
you.
voicing your opinion. Like, she's saying that, like, we're
Ugh.
not trying to stop you. Like, why are you saying it like
We are
that?
actually spreading your word. We are making everyone aware about your birth as a McCrazy.
I mean, it's true. Here's the thing: if you're allowed to spread your opinion, and
Then we can
including
react to it as we want.
including accusations, are we not allowed to have our opinion about your opinion?
Yep. Yeah, Chris, we have our opinion.
This shit goes 2 ways, motherfucker. All right, are you ready? Are you ready for the rest of this? I'm not
Chris, you're
stopping.
entertaining.
Yeah, this
Nope,
is great.
let's
I actually,
go, let's
you know,
go.
what's, if you notice,
Chris, enjoy the show.
if you noticed, I actually liked your video.
Yeah.
There's a little thumbs up there, man. Keep up
Yeah,
the good shit.
Crafts
This was
after
hilarious.
2000.
I can't wait
Enjoy
for
the
your
show,
hot take
Mo.
on the 4 of us. I'm sure. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
He helps you do the fundraisers and you get money. So, okay, yeah.
Oh, we
I
all
get
only
you.
like Reds because
I
he
know
does
why you're
fundraisers.
friends with
Yeah.
them. But
With all the money we don't have.
Cheshire, there's no
Yep,
reason
yep,
for you to
yep.
be fucking friends with them. And yet you are. And you support him. And you call out everybody else.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I can't hear it.
If everybody else was doing that shit, call them out too.
The phone goes off in our video.
Mm.
No, Oh, there we
I
go.
think it's really
yeah.
fucked up that all
Sorry, what
y'all
were you
support
saying?
that motherfucker.
Mm.
I think it's really fucked up that nobody has a fucking brain. And I think it's really fucked up y'all let him get away with this shit. Yet, everybody else is trolls. Guess what? If everybody says you're dead, it's time to lie down.
Well, I'm dead. That was hilarious. Peace.
That phone ring was the highlight for me. Like I could dance to this
Yeah.
video. Yeah, that was a highlight
That's
for
great.
me.
Yeah, I like
Yeah, that was awesome. Ding
So,
ding dong, ding ding dong.
so there's a couple of amusing things that I caught in there. What did you guys catch? What did you tell me?
What I caught was a whole lot of accusation and claims without any
Name
type of
calling.
citation, name calling, a lot of childish rhetoric, no adult conversation. If she has
Nope.
real legitimate adult concerns, that's not how you approach them. And
Nope.
there was no citations, no evidence. Here's the thing, Chris. I just want to be very clear in how I view life and how I treat people based on how they treat me, not based on the hearsay of other people. So being that Steve has treated me with nothing but respect, honesty, integrity, he's been there for me through some of my hardest moments over the past year. I would say at this point, I've been through quite a lot, and he's been there for me as a friend, and never once harassed me, never once said anything to me out of the way or rude, never once hit on me, not one time.
Yeah, and he
That's
took my
how
permission when he started having that banter with me of hitting on me. He took my
Yeah.
permission for that. So yeah,
I
sorry,
started
sorry,
harassing
go
him
ahead.
first. Damn.
Nikki was after his ass.
It's true.
Okay, sorry.
Misogynist.
So
if
just
they
because
make you
feel
uncomfortable, Chris, don't watch them. You have the
Yeah.
choice to not watch his videos. They make you uncomfortable. You have the
what
choice
exactly,
to exit and leave.
Yeah, no, but what exactly made her feel uncomfortable? It depends, right? And
Here's
just
what's
because you
interesting.
felt uncomfortable doesn't mean that Shesh will feel uncomfortable by the same thing, or I will feel uncomfortable by the same thing. It's the perspective. You might not know what personal joke we are sharing. You can verify with us, but you stop. Okay, that's your personal opinion. Fine, you can put it out, but if you don't back it up and you put it out there on a video, then it becomes libel and it can affect someone's image, especially on internet.
There's also something to be said when you go through the line of at what point does it become harassment when you go along the line of I don't care if I have to make a video about you every day of the week.
Yeah, every day. That's some intense feelings, Chris, that you have there. And
if you notice, about 5 months ago now, we as a community came together and made the decision that we were going to leave all of this in the past. And we have done just that. There have been 0 videos put out about KJP. There have been 0 videos put out about Uni. There have been 0 videos put out about other people until we started getting attacked again.
Yeah.
And that's part of this. And Chris, what do you say about the behavior where I was getting death threats and rape threats from your side of the camp? What do you say about that? Because I literally...
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry. No. I don't want to discredit what you're saying, Eliana.
Let's hold on. Manya. Before we go, we should read out loud what they're saying, just so that way nobody misses it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's read what they're saying.
What Chris said is, because you're placing a video that I put on my channel that nobody watches on my own thoughts on your channel right now and trying to discredit my feelings and perception of him, that's why. So let's break this down. One bit at a time.
You are allowed to have feelings, but we are not. Is that what you're saying? Seriously?
Here's the thing. You made your opinion public. Your opinion included accusations and claims. That's the thing. You can have your opinion. You can think. That's why I said I have no problem if you think I'm a douchebag. You're welcome to think I'm a douchebag. I might not even disagree with you. However, if you say that I'm sucking Steve's dick, now you're making a claim that you have to demonstrate. Yeah. So
yeah, you're saying that Steve is chauvinistic or he treats women bad. Can you back it up?
Now you need to demonstrate. That's not just an opinion, that's a claim. Right? So Kawasa for 5 says, help, I feel uncomfortable after having watched Miss Chris's video. So terrifying. I wonder if that's my fault.
Chris, if you think we are doing, if you think all you got away from this conversation is that you're getting notoriety out of this, then I feel sorry for you. There are 4 women telling you that you're wrong about someone, and instead of listening to us, you have decided to stick to your opinion. Fine, then get ready when we obliterate that opinion and we put that opinion under scrutiny, and we tell you that you're talking out of your ass because you're not backing your shit up. So yeah.
Well, there's
have your opinion all you want.
There is actually another thing here. I've watched his videos and they made me uncomfortable at times because of the way he spoke to women. So I am a woman and I felt uncomfortable by the way he spoke to women on his shows. Here's the thing. He wasn't talking to you. You don't get to be upset because of banter on our behalf. That's up to us and our relationships. If you're concerned about us, you can say that you're concerned. And if you don't like the show and it makes you uncomfortable, that's fine. Don't watch the show. But it's not up to you to decide how we should feel about our interactions.
Hey, Chris, how about stop being disrespectful? We are being very respectful towards you, and you're going on, I don't do this shit for followers. Sorry, not an attention whore.
Can you not call us whores? That'd be a good start.
Joking.
That would be a good start. Like, we haven't called you we have called you McCrazy, yes, because you have said that you will keep on making videos about Steve if you have to for every day of your life. Now, this is us backing our shit up. Can you back your shit up? Can you do that? I don't think so. So, and they're just now vulgar. They're just on a vulgar rant now.
This is some big brain. This is big brain.
Yeah, this is the woman who was worried how we were getting treated. This is the woman who was worried about how we were getting treated.
You know what? I'm kind of bored with her.
Yeah, that's the end. This was the end of the stream. I just thought it was a fun thing to watch at the end. The birth of McCrazy.
Who the fuck said that you were making this comment? Nobody said that here. I didn't see that in the chat.
Was she summoned at the sound of her name?
Oh, maybe.
Just, I hear my name.
Yeah.
Like, how did she find us?
Wow.
That's what I want to know.
She's probably watching all of our content. That, you know, the content that makes her uncomfortable. Because she wants to feel uncomfortable. So she has something to complain about.
So don't feel uncomfortable on our behalf, for one. If you felt uncomfortable, that's fine. That's your personal business. But to go about and generalizing it to the whole population of women out there, that's when we will ask you to back your shit up. All right?
Exactly. And, the reason why I like Steve so much is that we had that banter. And we were able to have that banter constantly. Yeah. And he
we are not walking on eggshells.
And I laugh along with it because I know it's consensual. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
I just don't.
So. Yeah, right. Chris, well, you started calling us names and stuff. So, yeah, that kind of tells us that you're not concerned for us, nor you're concerned for women. You're just concerned about your own personal feelings. Yeah. Good luck with that. And we will keep on putting your feelings that you put on public display under scrutiny. And if you think that you're getting notoriety out of that, more power to you. Enjoy that notoriety while it lasts. All right?
Is the fun police? We're not allowed having any fun. You didn't want us to see... I'm confused. Did you not want us to see the video of you talking shit?
Yeah. Then why did you put it up there? And too bad, now I've downloaded it.
No, she didn't.
Wait till you see the comment section. Do you guys want to see the comment section?
Oh yeah, I have seen the comment section.
Oh yeah, I'm watching it.
And somehow we are making people go there and comment. For some reason, we are the ones who have commanded people to go there and make comments on a video.
The people who are commenting, are the other McCrazies. Shocker.
Yeah.
Uni Rage, Chopper Lily, fucking Leroy. These are all known. These are all known accounts that are known trolls that are taking advantage of Chris's over emotional behaviors and her outburst. Sorry.
So you can be if instead of listening to us, the women who Steve directly interacts with,
we don't matter.
And maybe we don't matter to you, right? We are stupid for some reason. Everybody here having qualified who are educated, and even if you're not educated, well educated, I guess you would support you would support other women if they're coming to you and said, we are not uncomfortable with how Steve interacts with us, or vice versa. Instead of that, the proof is the way I hear him speak to women about his member or about a lot of other things. This is the way he makes me feel. He makes you feel like that. Fine, but you generalized it to the whole population of women. That's your personal feeling about. Don't talk for us. Stop talking for us. Can you do that?
Please don't talk for me. Yeah, please don't talk for me.
In that video, you didn't talk for yourself. You were bad-mouthing shit because you was comfortable with Steve.
And you said you didn't like that we were both women because we had different opinions.
So when you crossed that line, you crossed it. So and if we come and give you a pushback, get ready for the pushback and take it on the chin.
And penises.
And instead of taking it on the chin, you are calling us attention whores. Thanks. Another woman calling another woman attention whore.
Apparently she's not an attention whore for giving her opinion, but we're attention whores for giving ours.
100%.
No, but you are, and Chris, I'll repeat it one last time, so don't try to deflect it, okay? It's okay for you to have a reaction to whatever Steve says. Don't generalize it to us and other women out there. Don't do that. You didn't do that in your video.
And
you generalized it to the whole population out there.
Yeah, and learn the difference. And learn the difference between an opinion and a claim.
Yeah.
Yes.
Learn the difference. It will assist you greatly moving forward. I expect great things from this newly born McCrazy.
You McCrazy. Yeah.
Well, I think that's it. I think we're ready to call it there unless anybody has anything to add. This is a great show. I'm glad we got to it.
That was a great show. Chris, actually.
I do have one question for the chat. So.
Yeah, go for it.
All right.
Question for the chat.
Before we leave. This is completely unrelated to everything, and you can be mad at me if you want. But if you played Stardew Valley, and you had to choose between Abigail or Sebastian, who would you choose?
Sebastian.
That is my query.
One for Abigail, and 2 for Sebastian. I'm choosing Sebastian.
Yes.
What's that?
I'm desperate. Because I can't choose between the two. I feel bad.
He went to that school, yet he didn't graduate. Oh, he's graduated! Wow, God! He's a graduate.
Wait, Manya, before you go on. Hey, Chris, that's a claim. Back it up. Not an opinion.
Back it up.
Godless Scummer for 5 says, is the Darth Dawkins principle. You mention them, then you summon them, and they shall appear. Oh, glorious. Interestingly enough, I would like to point out, by the way, you guys, I didn't actually show who this video came from, or didn't say their name whatsoever until they came screeching in here like a banshee.
Oh, well, I also screamed like a banshee, so yeah, that's all right, I guess. But yeah. It's funny, like, all she has done is she has just made claims, and now she's, like, passing them off as her feelings. Miss, if those are your feelings, it's fine. Nobody's invalidating your feelings. But we don't have to share those feelings with you.
He has no college degree. He has no college degree to be a professor. Do you actually have a master's degree in something, yet Steve didn't graduate from college? When did, 1, demonstrate that? 2, when has Steve ever said he was a professor?
He never said he was a professor. Or maybe because he talks about philosophy, and he has other professors who kind of agree with him, and kind of, he cites
Steve
as
also
a
doesn't claim to be a philosopher either. Steve says he's an amateur at philosophy, and he studies it. That's it.
Yeah, he studies it and he's an amateur. Like you have just blown this whole thing out of proportion, and now when we are giving you a pushback, you're just running away with the tail between your legs with this, oh, my fifis were hurt. Your fifis are fine. We don't have to agree with your fifis. All right, number one. Number two, when you generalize it and you say, oh, how he treats other women, back your shit up.
Well,
Or
careful.
you're just talking
Now
out of
we're
your ass.
now we're just bullying at this point.
Oh, again,
They watched my video
again,
and
she's
had.
generalizing. Again, she's generalizing. Nobody did in the beginning. However, everybody's starting to see exactly who's. You mean us also? You know what everybody means? Everybody includes us also, but we are on the opposite spectrum of where you are at regarding Steve. So either back your shit up or you're just talking out of your ass, Chris. Have a good day.
Chris, you've
Now,
been here
Manya's
for
feeling
all of
some
like
type of way.
5 minutes. Steve has been around for years. You've been here for 5
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah.
So when you say that people are just watching and the BS is coming out and all of this shit, listen.
That's what happens when you watch
In the
Rock.
Well, you didn't
Yes.
sit back and just watch, Chris. You just made it. You made your personal opinion and you projected it onto the whole women population, and you kind of included everybody in it. So yeah, fuck off. Or have a good day,
Aw.
whatever you choose to.
But yeah, Moon is right. Steve's been here for a long time, and I just thought it would
Yeah.
be really funny to watch the birth of a McCrazy. Somebody's gonna go
It's
ahead and
just-
make videos
yeah,
about
it's
all
just
of us for the
like
next 3
Yeah, it's
years in perpetuity to talk about
Yeah.
things that are completely inaccurate, including what they were already
Yeah.
talking about, and then claim that,
Yeah.
oh well, Steve never went to Nuke Stool. That's my opinion.
It's just like he did to Katie Joy for 9 months, called her out every day and said the same comment that I said, that he would call her out every day until everybody knew who she was. Yeah, because she was being harmful.
That's also
Like
not
you
what he.
are.
That's actually also
You
not what
are
he
also doing-
said, and also not what he did. So there's
Yeah.
that, and nobody lied about her. So there's also that. Either way, there's no
there are no
point.
lies.
Manya, you're
We
getting
back
caught
shit
up.
up, Chris.
Manya, you're getting caught up. Fucking arguing with him a crazy.
Yeah, sorry. Take a deep breath, everybody. On me.
Well, you guys, I love you guys. Thank you guys for having me on.
This is a good
I
show.
really appreciate.
I'll put
I
the
love you,
link in the
Leah.
chat for anybody who does actually want to go watch this video if anybody cares,
Yeah.
or you need a reference to it for later.
Yeah.
Because I like to, provide sources and not take things out of context. Oh, that was a lot of fun.
Or know what you're talking about to begin with, because she doesn't even know that he was that he's a veteran or anything. Like,
Yeah, Nikki, do you want to give your last word?
sure. I mean, we started off with apologies, and then we went to incels, and then this strange topic. But if you want to apologize to somebody, mean it and word it like you mean it.
We'll be waiting for your apology, Chris. We explained earlier in the video on how to apologize properly. We'll be expecting that in your next video. Manya?
Look to the beginning.
Yeah, so there's a way of apologizing, and when you stop basing your apologies on other people's feelings, then it's not really an apology. Be sincere about it. Try to make it up to them. If that person's not ready to listen to you now, walk away, come back. If they are not ready to listen to you forever, then walk away. And actions speak louder than words. If you're sorry, your actions will reflect that. And yep, don't be an asshole. Simple as that. Yeah. And if you have been warned once, okay, maybe twice even, depending on what you have done. Third time you do it, yeah, where's my gentle? That will be my question.
Nail on the
So,
money.
yeah. Just be genuinely sorry when you are trying to be sorry. Don't try and justify your, shittiness. That's it. Yep, that's me.
Moon, how you feeling? Last word?
Oh.
Apologies. Provide charity when you can from someone giving you the apology. If you can't, then there's nothing wrong with not accepting an apology as well. Also, don't be too afraid to fall on your own sword and accept when you're wrong, and provide an apology when you need to. For the incel portion, incels are incels. They are toxic. They need to be taken down. They're stupid. and all they do is shit on women. That is their whole premise. That is their whole goal. And, we should continue to call that out because unlike what Chris Tucker thinks about Steve McRae, incels are a real harm to society, and we need to be calling them out. As far as this last portion of the stream, I just want to say that I understand and respect that you feel uncomfortable, Chris, and you have every right to exit out of a video and not watch if you're feeling that way. What you don't have the right to do is tell other people how to feel. So if the people within the stream are comfortable and consensual with the behavior and the rhetoric, that's okay. And that's not your right to tell them that they're wrong in that. And if you don't feel comfortable, absolutely leave watching. It's that easy. So those are my final thoughts.
Well, I think this was a productive stream. Now the people who we've spent so much time calling out in the past know how to rectify the situation. Sometimes if people don't want anything to do with you, they don't have to justify them not wanting anything to do with you. But if you don't want anything to do with somebody and you think they're a bad person, go away. There's nothing keeping you here. There isn't a crusade going on.
Yeah.
If you don't like Steve, if you don't like Red's rhetoric, if you don't like me, if you don't like the community, go away. You don't need to dedicate the rest of your life to trying to take down big bad Steve. You don't have to spend the rest of your life trying to go after the big bad Red's rhetoric. You don't have to spend the rest of your life being confused about why I choose to hang out with the people I choose to hang out with. You're welcome to your opinion, but it's important to learn the difference between what is an opinion, what is a claim, and how to recognize when, if I don't like you, that's my opinion. If I have my reasons for not liking you, those need to be backed up. Simple as that. As long as it's justified to me, that's fine. I can leave. But if I'm going to go around telling other people that these are things, those are not opinions anymore. Those are claims about somebody, about their behavior, about what they do, about what they've said.
Yep.
That's the difference. As for incels, some of them aren't so bad. I'm sure that there is a toilet, I gotta say, that sucks most incels down into the depths of it, and I mostly just kind of feel bad for a lot of the incel community because I think a lot of them get caught into it by accident. As for the community itself, super toxic and problematic, and needs to be talked about for the incels as well as the feminine side, because there are women incels and they are just as bad. It is a bad time had by all. So anyway, I just thought that last video would be fun to see a McCrazy being birthed in their natural habitat.
And that McCrazy ventured out of their natural habitat.
I'm surprised they came in here. That was fantastic. Yeah. Tell you what, Chris, if you're feeling so up to it, I'm down to have a conversation with you. We can set up a time. Hit me up if you want to have a conversation about it. I'll tell you exactly why I do the things that I do and why I choose to do and hang out with the people I hang out with, because I can actually justify it. So,
and I'm an adult. So.
And I'm an adult, and you can't tell me what to do. You're not my real mom.
I even sent that message. I was like, I even sent that message since Chris is here in the chat. So I've sent that message. Let's have a conversation.
Yeah.
You're welcome to.
This is a great show. Everybody say goodbye to Sweet. Goodbye, Sweet. We hope you feel better.
Night.
And have a good night, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Good night.
Bye now.